Have you ever experienced this? Someone suddenly asks you a question and your mind goes completely blank. Your heart starts to race, your hands become sweaty, and no matter how hard you try, your mind stops functioning. You are unable to say a single word. Later, when you are alone, that moment repeats in your mind over and over. You think, I should have said this, or why didn't I answer? But by then, the opportunity has passed, and now you feel like you've failed. This happens during job interviews, meetings, social gatherings, and even in casual conversations with friends. You want to speak confidently, but when the moment actually arrives, something holds you back. And the worst part is that you think you are alone in this. But let me tell you a secret. Every confident person you see in front of you has felt this way at some point. The real reason you're struggling to speak isn't a lack of knowledge or intelligence, it's your mindset. When we feel pressure, our brain understands speaking as a threat and shuts down instead of helping. That's why we forget words, our voice trembles, and we freeze. But what if you could train your brain to think faster, speak smarter, and never freeze again? What if instead of panicking, you could speak with confidence, clarity, and impact? It sounds impossible, but it's not, because confident speaking isn't a talent. It's a skill anyone can learn. In today's Brainstorming audiobook summary, we're breaking down the book Think Faster, Talk Smarter by Matt Abrahams. And trust me, this one can truly change the way you speak and connect with people. You'll learn practical techniques that ordinary people like you have used to overcome hesitation and become great communicators. I'll share real-life stories of people who were once shy and nervous, but transformed their lives by improving their communication. Most importantly, I'll show you step-by-step how to apply these techniques in your own life, starting today. Let's get started. Chapter 1. Understanding the fear of speaking. Ever wanted to say something important, but when you opened your mouth, nothing came out? Heart pounding, throat dry, mind blank. This happens because of anxiety. When under pressure, our brain sees speaking as a threat, activating the fight or flight response. Stress hormones flood the body, shutting down the brain's communication center. That's why we forget words and lose confidence. Take the story of Michael, a smart and hard-working guy who froze during meetings. He knew he had good ideas, but he'd either mumble or stay silent. His manager even said, if you want to grow in this company, you have to learn to speak. Michael started avoiding meetings out of fear. But what if we saw speaking not as a threat, but an opportunity? 3 tips to change your speaking mindset. 1. Acknowledge your fear. Tell yourself, I'm nervous, but I'm also excited to share my thoughts. 2. Take a deep breath and speak slowly. Calm your brain and speak clearly. 3. Focus on your message, not yourself. Think about the value of your message, not how you'll be judged. Michael practiced these and slowly became a confident speaker. So can you. Chapter 2. Turning nervousness into confidence. Most confident speakers weren't born that way. They just learned to turn fear into excitement. Your body reacts the same way to fear and excitement. Sweaty palms, fast heartbeat. The secret is to reframe fear as excitement. Amelia, about to give her first big presentation, was full of anxiety. Her mentor said, "Don't say you're nervous, say you're excited." She tried it, took a deep breath, said, "I'm excited to share my ideas," and gave an amazing presentation. She followed 3 techniques to turn fear into confidence. 1. Reframe your fear. I'm excited to speak instead of I'm scared to speak. 2. Use a power pose. Stand tall, take deep breaths for 2 minutes to reduce stress. 3. Visualize success. Imagine speaking clearly and confidently. Chapter 3. Thinking fast in any situation. Have you ever blanked out when asked a question? You panic, and by the time you think of a response, it's too late. Quick thinking isn't a talent, it's a trainable skill. John, a sales executive, struggled with slow responses. His manager said, "Clients won't wait while you think. Train your brain to respond faster." John practiced these 3 exercises to train fast thinking and noticed a big change. His responses became natural and confident. 1. 5-second rule. Try to answer within 5 seconds of being asked. 2. Storytelling practice. Pick random words and tell a 30-second story. 3. What comes next? Pause a movie or conversation and guess what will be said next. Chapter 4. Structuring Thoughts for Clear Speech. Do you ramble and confuse people? That's because your brain thinks faster than you can speak. Use a simple structure to organize your thoughts. The what, so what, now what framework. What? What are you saying? So what? Why does it matter? Now what? What's the next step? Freya, a marketing executive, used to confuse people with scattered ideas. When she used this structure, her ideas became clear, impactful, and memorable. Chapter 5. Mastering Impromptu Speaking. Impromptu situations, like sudden questions in meetings, cause most people to freeze. James, an engineer, used to say, I agree with everyone, when put on the spot. He learned 2 powerful techniques. The PREP method. P. Point. State your main idea. R. Reason. Why do you think so? E. Example. Give an example. P. Point. Repeat your main idea. Bridging technique. If you don't know the answer, say, "That's a great question. Based on my experience," this buys you time and keeps you in control. Chapter 6. The Power of Active Listening. Great communication isn't just about speaking, it's about listening. Most people don't truly listen, they just wait to speak. Lily, thought to be shy, was told by a friend, "It's hard to talk to you, you don't really listen." That changed her perspective. 3 listening skills that transform communication. 1. Be silent. Pause 2 seconds before replying. 2. Mirror and label. Repeat key words and label emotions. Oh, you're feeling stressed? What's bothering you? 3. Listen for what's not being said. Tone, body language, hidden signals. Chapter 7. Overcoming Social Anxiety. Afraid of sounding awkward at events or parties? Use these tips to ease social fear. Henry, a developer, avoided networking. One day he decided to try. 1. 3-second rule. Speak within 3 seconds of the urge. 2. FORD method for small talk. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. 3. Warm openers. Simple questions like, "How do you know the host?" work wonders. Chapter 8. Improving Storytelling Skills. Good storytellers grab attention and make messages memorable. Use the 3 C's framework. Context. What was the situation? Conflict. What was the challenge? Conclusion. How did it end? Ayesha learned to use storytelling and went from boring data dumps to engaging presentations. Chapter 9. Handling Difficult Conversations. Tense conversations, at work or with loved ones, can be tough. Use the love method. Listen. Understand. Validate. Pause before reacting, lower your voice, focus on facts, not emotions. Ava used this during a heated meeting and turned conflict into calm discussion. Chapter 10. How to be more persuasive. Great ideas alone aren't enough. If you can't communicate them effectively, they won't make an impact. To truly persuade others, you need to connect both logically and emotionally. That's where the ACE method comes in. A equals authority. Speak with confidence and back your message with solid facts or evidence. When you sound sure of yourself, others are more likely to trust you. C equals clarity. Keep it simple, focused, and organized. A clear message is easier to follow and harder to forget. E equals emotion. Facts tell, but feelings sell. Help your audience feel why your message matters. Inspire, motivate, or spark curiosity. When you blend authority, clarity, and emotion, you don't just talk, you influence. Have you ever said something under pressure that you later regretted? How would you handle it differently now? Chapter 11. Daily Communication Practice. Smooth, confident speaking comes from daily practice, not talent. Jane, a graphic designer, would freeze in meetings, but with regular speaking drills, she gained fluency and clarity. What's one communication habit you're committed to improving starting today? Final message. This video is just an overview. The real transformation begins when you apply these strategies in your daily life. Confident communication isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, step by step. So why wait? Shift your mindset, sharpen your skills, and watch your life evolve. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more powerful book summaries.